Yeah.
Just imagine. The headset's $3,500. Multiply that by how many people are at the school. That's gotta be expensive.
And on Windows, you have to pay for DVD software.
What?
Yeah. I really tried not to throw that thing across the room.
You've seen people park everywhere nowadays?
Yes.
We got... That was so professional. Windows 10 is fine. And Windows 11 too, and set up nicely. Again, knowledge, you idiot! No, they disabled the whole socket on the motherboard. That's what the function does. So it doesn't matter what CPU you use, it flat out disables it.
So you have to get a new computer?
Yeah!
And basically send all the money.
That's how poorly designed Windows is!
Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Magger from the iTunes Fanboy.
My name is Alpha DeWolf.
And even though we are not full house today, as TabbyCat406 was unavailable again this week, we do have somebody. This doesn't mean this isn't a 3-person podcast because we have...
Hi, I am Jordan Riddles from the iPhone Fan.
Our 3-time guest. Jordan is now a 3-time TIFP guest, and he is so far the only 3-time TIFP guest. And will be the only one, at least for this season. I don't have many guests for season 3.
I'm trying to think, have you ever had any repeats?
Yes, Jordan has been on the show 3 times. Ethan from Apple Maniac YT was on twice, and we keep trying to have, and I've been trying to have Elias from Meowtech on for a second time, but that hasn't worked out quite as we planned. So as a result, and technically Alpha is a repeat because he was a guest on season 1.
Yeah, and then I became another co-host.
Yeah.
All because my podcast ended up taking a screeching halt.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah. At some point I'll find a way to reboot it again, though actually now due to YouTube's new podcast section on every channel, now I'm debating, do I just create a specific gadgets and drive podcast for those channels using the new podcasts playlist section that YouTube brought, or do I just continue the podcast channel where basically nobody watches anything there? Because it's been dead for how long now?
Over a year. But I do have a question. But Alpha, you were on. So who would be your co-host if you brought back your own podcast?
That's the problem. I don't have one, and that's why it ended up dying.
Which is why you're on this show now.
Yep.
Wait, didn't you have a podcast with that guy from Talos of Tech?
I did, actually, and I'm still trying to find a way to convince him to come back on. The problem is I'd have to pay him $100.
Oh my god.
That is a lot of money. It's
fair though. That's one of his membership plans. One of his membership tier options is if you want to do a collab with him for like an hour-long podcast or something like that, he has it open for like $100. But the reason why he charges money for it is because he's trying to keep his time free to do stuff with his family and friends, which I don't blame him, because honestly, family, friends, they're important. So
everyone has a life.
Yep. So yeah, I respect that decision, even though, unfortunately, man, I am so mad that my iPod ran out of storage halfway through that collab with him. So I only got half of an episode.
Oh god, that's awful. That sucks.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, now.
At least I get mentioned on his podcasts now. I've gotten popular enough to the point where I've now become mentioned on his podcasts, and I even got a dedicated shout-out from one of his YouTube channels.
Oh, that's
That's cool.
awesome.
So, all right, enough about me. This is a tech news podcast starring Teddy. So, what's our first topic today?
Apple launched the Apple Vision Pro Developer Tools, or the SDK.
I'll say that's good for developers, I think.
That actually is not great for developers, and here's why. So the whole point of the Apple Vision Pro is to take advantage of the gimmicky spatial computing, which, quite frankly, doesn't seem to be that special. You can have it around in the space, have all your stuff around in a space, as we go on to our previous episode, our last episode, so I won't spend too much time in this episode, but you just kind of have it go all around you, which is a decent concept, but at the same time, augmented reality just seems kind of weird to have screens floating out of nowhere, and it's just a bit of a dissocial experience, but its hardware is great. However, the Apple SDK is not great because you're developing it on a Mac, which is not a spatial computer. Which means that even if you get an existing headset, that's still going to cost existing VR monitor headset to use with it. You're still, most of the time, you're not going to be able to take full advantage of the Apple Vision Pro's hardware with third-party apps because you can't develop with an actual VR headset. Which is why this could potentially lead to the Apple Vision Pro failing as a whole.
What I think is, I don't think the fact that it's not actually the Apple Vision Pro you're gonna, like, actual hardware you're gonna be developing with, I don't think that's really gonna affect the quality of applications for Apple Vision Pro.
Yes, it can, because Macs don't have the numerous cameras and the numerous big displays to the Apple Vision Pro apps need, so that way you can have fun in Apple Vision Pro.
You know, maybe that's why iPhones have their LiDAR scanner. Because to me, the best way I could think in order to test the applications you program is, well, I mean, your iPhone's got a camera, and ever since 12 Pro, they put a LiDAR scanner on there for... Guys, we all know that it's basically useless. There's no way we ever use it for anything. You think they could finally get some use for testing this stuff? Because, I mean, if you put your phone up to your face, it's not actual Vision Pro, but it's better than nothing. I don't know.
It could be good, but at the same time, it's not. The LiDAR scanner is still not the most capable. Is still not as capable as an actual Apple Vision Pro, or even close. So that would also make third-party apps worse.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know how they're gonna handle that. I mean, that's why I think that this Vision Pro headset really should have been a developer tool, not a consumer tool.
Yes, especially at its $3,500 price point for basically something that can do everything like an iPad can.
Yeah.
I understand that Apple Vision Pro is incredible to use. I do get that. But at the same time, it doesn't serve any but spatial computing, even though it feels so incredible. It doesn't have that much, even though it may look and feel incredible. If it can't do anything incredible to benefit people other than the fact that they can be around in space, then feel like they're in their own space when doing computing, then there won't be much of a purpose, since I don't know about you, but businesses and workplace and education facilities might not actually are probably not going to buy Apple Vision Pros for their workplace, for their employees, because employees can, as Sam Time funnily enough joked about in one of his videos, employees can very easily not be doing work, and the same goes with students. They could very easily be disobeying rules because you're not there to see the physical screen.
Yeah.
That's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
Just imagine, the headset's $3,500. Multiply that by how many people are at the school. That's gotta be expensive.
That costs like $100 million, maybe 50 million.
Let me do the math on my calculator here.
Yeah.
You could get everyone how many Mac Studios at a cheaper price?
Okay, let me see. All right, so $3,500 times. So there's about at my school at the school I'll be going to next year. There's about just for the students, mind you. Just for the students, that is. Trying to figure out how to read this number. $4,480 million. Just for the students, mind you.
I don't even think some really rich school districts could even afford that. That's insane.
Yeah, that's stepping out of the bounds of being reasonable.
And
that's as much.
Oh, you can go ahead, Jordan.
That's as much as how many SpaceX rockets?
Good point.
I don't want to know. I don't want to find out that number since it's probably several. But when the first iPhone launched, it was $500, which admittedly was very expensive for a phone at the time. But people were still used to paying easily more than that for computers, so it worked. No one's really used to paying no consumers, especially for a consumer product, are used to paying $3,500 for a consumer product. A lot of consumers don't even drive cars that cost that much money.
Yeah, I bet the Apple Vision Pro is going to be a status symbol of VR headsets.
I think it will be too, kind of like how the iPhone's a status symbol.
My mom said that like in 2010 having an iPhone was a status symbol.
Yeah.
Still kind of is, albeit it's not as big of a status, but it's still hasn't really lost that.
Yeah, in 2010 it was a really big status symbol. Have an iPhone, as most people at the time were still rocking their old school phones.
Yeah.
And the old school phone industry was still thriving very well because old school phones were just cheaper and people were too addicted to their QWERTY keyboards to switch to an iPhone.
Yeah.
I've tried the QWERTY keyboard on a BlackBerry before. I don't know how people type on those things.
Neither
Those keys
do
are so
I.
tiny, my fat fingers can't type them.
When typing on those, did you press 3 or 4 keys at once? That's what I would think typing on one of those.
Yes, that's what it
would be
is.
like.
Or I have a BlackBerry.
I have to use my fingernails.
I have a BlackBerry Classic in my somewhere in here. I can show you guys that right now.
Yeah, when typing on those things, I'm basically using my fingernails, and I'm just barely pressing, trying to press only one of the so many other compacted together keys. It's just, how do people type on those things? Thank goodness they switched to software on smartphones.
Yeah.
I can press sometimes up to I think 8 keys at once with my thumb.
That's if you're really trying to get as many as possible.
I'm just when I'm generally typing
press 12, 15 keys.
Name, I'm usually hitting more than one key. Now if I'm using my thumb, then I'm often hitting 5 keys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how people typed on those things. Thank goodness we switched to software keyboards.
Thank goodness Ooh, this BlackBerry is starting to feel a little bit sticky because it's rubber.
And can't you believe people thought the iPhone was going to fail just because it had a software keyboard?
Oh yes. Well, I was a baby then, so I wasn't even born yet, so I didn't.
If only Microsoft saw that coming.
That was so fun.
Yeah, my,
Have you
I
seen-
didn't watch the news about that, but still, I've just looked back and found Steve Ballmer's reaction. I'm like, dude, are you really that stupid? He says, this device can't even do email?
yes, it
That
can.
was
Sometimes-
advertised it could do that.
Yeah, sometimes I question if Steve Ballmer was high on something.
He sure acted like it.
Yeah.
$500? Fully subsidized? It can't even do email.
I'm booting it up to prove Steve Ballmer wrong. Look,
Yep.
email right there.
Email.
It can't do email.
Let's see.
It has no keyboard.
No keyboard, no physical QWERTY keyboard.
It
What are
can
we
do
gonna do?
.Mac, Yahoo. It could do Yahoo Mail launch, Gmail.
Oh, you used to be able to sign in with Gmail until last year if you turned on less secure app access.
Yeah, I knew you could use Gmail for quite a while, but I knew it didn't work properly.
Yeah, but those dumb people at Google shut it down just because some idiot would think that's an actually good idea to sign into some malware site or something.
To be fair, iOS 1 is a 16-year-old. It's an old enough operating system to get, or it's going to be almost old enough to get its own driver's license. So
That's funny to think, actually.
That's older than me by like 3 years. That's how long ago that was.
iOS 1 is older than me by 9 months. Oh, remember when Steve Ballmer made fun of the MacBook Air when it first came out because it didn't have a DVD drive?
Who needed
Yeah.
that?
How hard is it to find a laptop with a DVD drive now?
I can find very few I can still find a few desktops with DVD drives in stores now. Again, a few, but I've barely been able to find laptops with DVD drives. In fact, if you have a computer with a DVD drive that is your main computer that is newer than 2017, please comment that down below because I'm very curious to see.
I know that on Dell's highest end, and this is like, we're talking 5 digits here in terms of a price tag, they have an ultimate laptop that does have a DVD drive.
Well,
Yeah.
But we're talking 5 figures on this one.
I haven't.
Not 4. You thought 4 was already plenty for a laptop? Nope, we're talking 5.
That's too much money. But yes, I have.
Yeah.
My $100 2010 MacBook Pro has a DVD drive too.
On our Windows laptop, we were trying to watch a family movie, and my dad had one of those USB DVD drives. And on Windows, you have to pay for DVD software.
What?
Yeah, I really tried not to throw that thing across the room because Windows, I call it micro scam Windows.
Oh my.
Is this Windows 11?
I believe it was Windows 10, but you probably still have to pay on Windows 11.
Windows 10? That's especially
I gotta grab my
on Windows
XPS.
10 since a lot of computers
1 sec.
with DVD drives still supported DVD we're still supported on Windows 10 officially, so that is actually crap.
Yeah, Windows is total crap. Like, it's the crappiest operating system I've ever used. Like, how the hell in like 2022 was when I last used it. Like, how have they not figured out how to get a damn desktop operating system to just work to just decently work.
They've never gotten that. Well, it may be
Like-
that Microsoft is based off of Windows is based on a clone operating system, so that could.
Oh
explain.
yeah. But that was like 40 years ago.
Yeah, but we do have some more
it's
news
already
about
in there.
Windows coming, but that. Right now, we have to
But-
focus on whether you have to pay for DVD software or not.
Well, I'm in the process of testing that right now. I
I don't have any
inserted a
Windows
DVD
11
on my
computers to
DVD
try
drive.
this.
Yeah, but in July 2022, I remember I was trying to import some damn photos.
Oh yeah, you talked
In-
about this when you last appeared.
Oh yeah, I remember I sent that to you. In the Photos app, it kept freezing up and wouldn't close. And I want to import photos.
I'm guessing that's
It
why.
pissed me off. It pissed me off so damn much.
I'm guessing you're not a Windows user anymore because of that.
No, I cannot stand I can't stand Windows.
Are you
But,
gonna get your MacBook soon?
Yeah, I have the money. I'm just too lazy to put it all in the bank and buy it.
Ha!
But
Oh, Alpha
This
found.
thing doesn't have a default DVD reader!
how much is it? I forgot.
I don't know! I'm looking to see if this has anything for a default DVD reader. There's nothing!
There are third-party
Nothing.
DVD players.
Where's
Third-party
the
DVD.
video player on this? I gotta find it. I thought there was a video player on this. Video... I
Windows.
can't-
There's still some
Backspace.
computers being made with DVD drives. Windows should have a default DVD player.
I bet some manufacturers, I bet maybe on some DVD-capable computers, maybe they include it for free on those computers.
Windows Media Player.
Yeah,
But
but
how much money does Microsoft have? Like, do they really need to charge people for a damn DVD player application?
no, but what I thought Windows didn't come with a DVD player anymore, as Alpha tweeted that around 2 years ago.
No, PDF. They got rid of PDFs.
Oh my god, you can't...
They
there's
got
no
rid
PDF
of
now?
PDFs. And
There
not
is no
obsolete
default
format.
PDF reader.
What if you try to open it... What if you try to open up a PDF file on Windows?
It looks for a web application. It has to go to the internet for some PDF application in Microsoft Edge or something. That's what it does.
Oh, yeah.
No way! Windows' built-in default video player doesn't even recognize there's a DVD in there.
Yeah, you know...
And this is in legacy mode. What?
Yeah, you know, their files...
This is
support-
another reason why Windows sucks.
How many reasons could we possibly find?
Oh, I guess that's another middle finger to send to Microsoft in the mail.
Yeah. Oh, you know, on Twitter,
heck?
on Twitter, I'm planning to do a poll on the absolute crappiest version of Windows.
11 from what I hear.
You know, if we're looking back through the entire history, it'd probably be like Windows Me.
Windows ME, from what I hear, I don't remember it being too unstable, but it was just that it had a lot of features that people hated.
Windows Me just shouldn't have happened. It was just a failed attempt by Microsoft to try to make money.
you didn't. What wasn't every other attempt a failure to make money?
Yes, that's what Windows is. Windows ME is just the...
They never continue to bamboozle me on how bad this operating system is. They never fail.
You know, when I was contacting Microsoft support, because my damn computer won't import some photos, I contacted Microsoft support, And they said it was because Microsoft hadn't gotten out all the rough edges, and I was on a final version of Windows 11, and they still hadn't figured it out. Can't you just take another year of damn development time to get your operating system to actually work?
Oh, but that requires effort, and then we'd have to invest more money.
It requires effort and money. What are we gonna do? It's gonna take money.
I think I should have been angrier in my rant. I thought I was angry enough, but I guess I have to be angrier now. They clearly haven't learned.
Don't. Anger isn't good for you, especially when it's Microsoft anger.
You've seen my overdrive rants, right?
Yes.
And no, I haven't yet.
Oh. Yeah, like the last 10 minutes of my Windows 11 rant, let's just say I had to bring out the censor bleep quite a bit.
Really? I didn't know you did the censor bleep.
Oh, I did. I do. I only use that language when I find it necessary to. And oh boy, Microsoft was asking for it. They were begging for me to use that language. So I gave them every bit I had.
Yeah, I'm really trying not to cuss like I do on Twitter on this podcast, because I'm getting annoyed even thinking about how crappy Windows is.
Oh yeah, but they deserve every bit of hate they get. Every bit.
Yeah.
Why does my computer have to freeze up every single time? It doesn't have to be downloading it. It doesn't even have to be installing it. All it takes is an update to be pending. That's it. All it takes is for an update to be available and pending. The system instantly slows down and I can't get anything done at work. I have to waste half an hour at my desk, still clocked in, just to get my system up to date so I can open SolidWorks and actually do some
Oh my god. Are you gonna have
See?
to bleep? Are you gonna have to bleep this podcast?
Absolutely. I've done it before. I can do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to. I think Alpha had to bleep it once beep it once when Tabby's chair fell apart right in the middle of recording.
Oh, yeah?
That was kind of funny. I'm glad you were okay, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of,
oh my goodness.
Speaking of anger, do you want to take your anger to the max now?
What did Apple do?
Oh no, this isn't anything Apple did to the maximum, I should say. This is to be directed towards a certain union.
Oh, the European Union. I know about them.
Yep, they're going
gosh.
to. Yes. So back in December, I read a tweet that stated that the EU was 3 laws away from getting the entire smartphone tech market to leave the market.
That would be hilarious if they were done dealing with their crap and they all just left the EU.
There's a lot of nations that are leaving it, actually.
Oh, really?
If I recall, the UK left, Norway left.
Oh, really? They're done dealing with the EU's crap?
Yeah, they've actually completely abandoned it.
Do what I want. Do this. Do that.
Like they're independent countries, Europe. But the EU is now just 1 law away from pulling away from the smartphone market, since they are going to mandate, drumroll, that all smartphones and tablets must have user-removable batteries by 2027.
Goodbye, water resistance!
What the hell? Like, is it going to be like those days where you can just pop off your plastic back and stick a new battery in?
I guess so.
There probably won't be plastic, but I think so.
Pretty soon the EU is going to want all phones to be powered by Duracell batteries.
Duracell back.
Like, why are they trying to make these stupid regulations? What do they accomplish?
Yeah, the EU is trying to take over the whole world.
can't you focus on factory conditions rather than what we can and what we can't do with our smartphone?
The EU basically has no tech giants now, other than Philips, which is sort of one, but they otherwise have no tech giants. They have no need to be regulating tech companies in other countries.
Yeah, like
It's like me going over to some. It's like if I went over to Jordan's house, for example, and he said, and his parents told me that I must use an Android phone even when I'm not at his house.
That's not right.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say like the EU makes the mandating apply in the EU?
The EU just wants to take over the whole world, which makes sense given that a lot of the nations in the EU have successfully created world empires like France, England, Germany, Spain.
Now they're all a bunch of relatively small countries with some territories.
What has the world come to?
Apparently
the world is not doing too good in general right now. It's not doing too good.
The world is doing all right, but the EU wants the world to come to them.
It could be better though.
Yeah, it could be way better in my opinion. You've seen people park everywhere nowadays?
Yes.
The other day, I went to Subway to grab some lunch, and I got out of my car, and then I looked over to my right to check traffic, and I noticed in the parking lot, somebody parked their Ford, I don't remember what wasn't an Edge or an Escape, they parked their Ford vehicle in 4 parking spaces.
That's just loud.
That's just someone
Even I can park better than that, and I'm just starting out as a driver.
That person legitimately woke up and said, I want to be a today. I want to ruin someone else's happiness today.
That's illegal.
Yeah, then that same day after work, I go and check on the charging station, and somebody left the handle on the ground with the pins facing up, and so water got in the charging pins and that charger. People are nuts today!
That's just stupidity. Like, don't you know that water and electricity don't go very well together?
I think that's why they left it on the ground like that. They wanted it to break.
Yeah.
Are people just taking out their anger on Tesla charging stations?
Oh, this isn't even a Tesla charger. It's some random charge point station, actually. But,
yeah.
Still, yeah, it's a common problem. It's a common problem where people do not respect each other nowadays.
Well, people never respected each other, but either did or didn't. But getting back on topic here, the European Union has mandated the European Union is going to mandate that other tech companies completely redesign their products for environmental purposes. Now, here's the thing.
Are they the ones who complained about no charge brick in the box?
Yes.
That does actually impact the environment. Having to like order a separate charge brick. Apple really just did it to save money, not for the environment or whatever they say.
Personally, I never found the reason to include it in the first place. I've always thought of it as a luxury or like a boutique thing. You get a free charger in the box as part of the purchase.
A charger. Well, Apple just include bad chargers for so many years that people just stopped using their power bricks, so Apple stopped including them, and they can also ship more iPhones now.
Oh, the crappy 5-watt chargers?
Oh, yeah.
Well, even still, I never found that a charge brick has to be included with a product because
yes, I have.
got a gazillion of these things around the house.
You need a.
Why do I need to add another?
You need to have the right one for your device, so that way it doesn't overheat, and so that way it lasts properly.
Can chargers really overheat if a device isn't designed for it?
That's why you're always supposed to buy power bricks from the direct manufacturer of your tech product. And that's
I
why you
find
don't
that
buy Dollar
ridiculous because I
Tree.
use third-party bricks all the time, and I've never really had any heat issues. I just use the correct power output brick. It doesn't matter who makes it.
It does.
I think the power output it won't light anything on fire because if your phone is using less energy or the brick is trying to input more energy than the phone can handle, it'll shut down some of that energy, so it won't overheat.
Yeah.
Well, actually, here's something else that's I find rather interesting. I don't want to unplug that one. Let's unplug this one. So, when it comes to the realm of DC charging, and I'm not talking about electric vehicles this time. I'm talking about smartphones this time. We got that was so professional. We've got our smartphones with a battery that uses DC power. What do we get from the wall outlets here?
AC power.
Which means we need something to convert that AC power to DC.
And that's what
Did you
the
know
power
that there's
brick
actually
does.
some smarts in these charge bricks?
Yep.
Reason for that is once you plug it in, and you might notice when you plug it in, there's a slight delay between when your phone actually starts charging.
Now I notice that now that
You know what's going on in that slight delay?
It's jump starting the brick to convert it.
No, it's communicating with the charger. It's communicating with the brick.
It is, but it's still. But
It's
I've
telling
still
the brick, here's how much power you give me. Because you know how when you get to a certain, here's a good example. Our MacBook Pros, they have those giant, in your case, you got like a 96 watt power adapter. I got 140 watt or something like that. Well, my MacBook can only take about 140 watts up till like, 50% or something. You get half battery in 30 minutes or something like that. After that, it derates.
Yes,
How does...
Yep.
No, it's because the battery actually can't accept full power at higher states of charge.
Oh, really?
That's just how battery chemistries work. It cannot... It's like... Actually, a good way to describe what's really going on is kind of like... It's an analogy Elon came up with. The way batteries work when charging them is it's like a parking lot. As more cars come into the parking lot, it starts to take longer because those cars have to find a parking spot, and it gets more difficult because less parking spots become available as more cars come into the parking lot.
Yep.
So that's exactly what's going on with batteries. And so that's why the charging speed slows down, which means you're not taking 140 watts, for example, at, say, above 50% anymore. But there's only one way that's happening. Your device has to communicate with this thing so it doesn't deliver more power than necessary.
Exactly. However, a lot of cheap power bricks and just third-party power bricks don't have the proper...
Cheap power bricks are what's causing all of those overheating issues. It's because they don't have the smarts
They
to
fry
really do that.
phones, and even third-party ones, like Samsung ones, for example, of iPhones and Anchors, they don't have proper communication systems put into place. I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what you guys say about what everybody's going to comment and say about them doing just fine. It's not just fine because Apple Power Bricks are still built with higher quality. So if you have an Apple device, use an Apple Power Brick. If you have a Samsung device, you're using a Samsung device, use a Samsung Power Brick.
I've used my 130 watt power brick with my MacBook Pro. 130 watt power brick being the one for my XPS. And same with the Apple one with my XPS. I've used them both.
How have you not fried those computers?
Because they're high quality bricks.
Well, you're just probably pretty lucky.
No, the bricks don't overheat. The reason why bricks will overheat is because they're low quality. They're made of crap components. But the ones that we've typically gotten from Apple, well, they may not have been the most powerful thing that came with our iPhones, but they were at least made of high quality components.
Yeah, and that's the same now. Same thing now with OEM power bricks, is that they're just more optimized, but getting back onto the point I was trying to make about why having user removable batteries is stupid in the first place is because it does not benefit. They don't benefit the environment, because generally phone batteries and laptop batteries and tablet batteries, generally they last for at least 5 or 6 years before needing to be replaced, unless, as we say on their podcast a lot, you're addicted to your devices.
That's definitely
That
me.
and also if you design it to be user removable, that means that battery capacity is about to go down, which means we're going to end up with less battery life in our devices if we are in Europe.
But getting back onto my topic, that's just not going to be. But by the time they wind up degrading enough to be needing a replacement, oftentimes, like even my iPhone 2G's batteries still turn on and function, which in they're 16 years old, which just goes to show you that by the time they get degraded enough to need replacing, they're usually in a tech enthusiast's hands that can deal with the replacements and can deal with
Here's
all this
another
stuff.
question that I have about that regarding this environmental situation. What is the difference, environmentally speaking, between removing an easy user removable battery and one that's designed to be unibody with the smartphone itself? What's the environmental difference between removing them?
There's none, because you might as well just get a new phone.
Exactly!
Well,
There's no difference!
I think throwing away a whole phone would kind of be bad for the environment.
That's why.
Well, here's the
that's
thing,
why
like, they're
people
still
don't throw
removable
away.
from the phones. Like, all you have to do is remove some screws and some adhesive around the display to keep that water out, and boom, you got access to the battery!
Yeah.
definitely.
This isn't an iPhone!
Yeah, but I don't think like most individuals can do that, so they just pay Apple to do it or some other shop.
Yeah,
And they just want.
I'd assume that has something to do with the
have latest
adhesives.
features and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Teddy, you said your 16-year-old iPhone it still holds a charge.
Yes, all my iPhone 2Gs still hold charge.
I think that might be because people aren't addicted to phones in 2007.
That is true. However, most of even my newer iPhones, they all still hold decent charge. Like my iPhone 11 Pro Max, even though its battery life was not great when I was using it towards the end, it actually holds a pretty decent charge now. And the only iPhone of mine that's newer that notably doesn't hold much charge is my iPhone 8.
I've been shocked at what I've been putting my iPhone XS Max back on the charger with every single day.
Yeah, like my iPhone, most of my newer
Putting it back
iPhones
at like
have
75% battery.
most of my newer iPhones have good batteries. Except for and then a lot of my older iPhones don't have good batteries. Like my Gold 6S is completely shot. All my iPhone 5s or it's not almost completely shot. All three of my iPhone 5s are pretty close to have batteries that are pretty much close to shot, but they do hold charge.
That's cool. I used to have an iPhone 5 that could only hold a charge for like at 100%. It would drop down to like 0% and like at most 20 minutes.
How much? Was that the rare iOS 8 one?
My iOS 8 one, the battery is okay, but it was on iOS 10. You know how
Was
slow
it the
those
silver
iPhone
one or
5s
the
are?
space gray one?
Yeah, it was a slate one on iOS 10.
Do you still have that one or not?
No, I recycled it.
What the?
That was your main phone. Wait, what's going on, Alpha?
Oh, crap! How did
What's
this
going on?
What
crack?
happened?
What dropped on this thing?
What's going on? It doesn't think it's charging now.
It's cracked.
It's
How
How
cracked.
did this
Do you have a
display
case?
crack?
What?
Do you have a case for it?
No.
Then that's why.
I dropped nothing on this. Can't be the heat.
My iPad 7 managed to crack when it was crack at random and there was no heat or anything, and it was in January.
See if eBay wants this, but I'm getting rid of that now. Or wait, no, it's got a warranty. But that won't cover that.
Your warranty won't cover a cracked screen?
No, it won't. That's user damage.
That's not a real warranty then.
No, warranties never cover user damage.
Did you accidentally do it?
I did nothing, but they're going to take that into their system and claim it's user damage. And there's nothing I can argue against that.
Yes, you can.
That's
You can
dumb.
say that you suddenly said that you suddenly realized that got cracked.
You
That doesn't hold to them.
Just
They're going
find
to
a-
claim it's user damage, and there's nothing I can do about that. I have no proof that there's no user damage for something like that.
Can't you just find some sort of loophole in the contract of the warranty?
The only way that works is like it's that free 30-day return thing, except no, it can't do that because it's past that. I bought it on May 2nd, so
This year?
yeah.
Oh, I think it would be more worth it just to pay for a screen replacement.
Yeah,
How much will that cost?
I know one of my
I
local
think
repair
so.
shops does it. It's gonna cost around $250. It's gonna cost maybe $250, $300.
Oh, that's not worth it. I'll just sell it.
Yes, it is worth
How
it,
much-
Alpha. That's still half the
No.
value of the iPad.
How much did you buy
no.
it for?
500.
Yeah, it's
Oh, is
worth it.
Is it refurbished?
Nope, it was brand new. They had a discount
is
at
it?
Target.
Is it the iPad 10th generation?
No, it's the Air 5.
Oh, yeah. So, is it a Target warranty?
No, Apple ships it with a warranty by default. Like, let me check the warranty status on this. Apple Care. What's this? Apple Care Plus coverage available. What's this? New. Unlimited repairs for accidental damage protection. Apple Care Plus gives you the technical support and hardware protection, including accidental damage, as often as you need. There are 10 days remaining to add Apple Care Plus.
Just add
What does
Apple
that
Care.
cost?
Just add
Evidently, Apple Care Plus is still available, so let's see if I can figure out how to do that.
Yeah, it's $419 right now without Apple Care
What's this?
Plus. With Apple Care
$4
Plus, it's-
a month. So my one question then would just be, do I have to pay on top of this $4 a month?
yes, you do have to pay $49 to get the screen replaced.
That's a better deal. I'll go that route.
Yeah, next time maybe get a screen protector so that way you know, because you can only do it 2 times before paying the normal price.
I'm looking, but I can't find the ones that I like. That and also, I hate screen protectors because they, for the most part, I've had terrible experiences with screen protectors.
Well, then get a
How come?
case.
Well, the glass one that I put on my iPod Nano, it was ranked high quality, had 5 stars, broke the same day I put it on. Just completely shattered.
Oh.
Yeah, this screen protector. I have a screen protector on my iPad Air 5, and it's not. And it is already chipped, but at least it's taking the damage for my iPad.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
let me see.
Let me see where the.
My phone
Do
case,
this.
I drop it so much, that the corners are totally cracked. And there are cracks and a bunch of scuffs on the case.
Is your phone itself cracked, though?
No, it's all cased up and has a screen protector.
That's good. Well, that's the
You
purpose
can't
of
tell me the settings app just crashed.
Maybe it did.
What iOS are you
Holy
on?
crap!
What iOS version are you on?
I don't know. I can't tell because the settings app won't show me.
Just restart the device and it should probably work.
The settings app on an M1 chip crashed. What is wrong with this operating system?
Are you on an iPad OS 16?
Yeah, but there's so much wrong with iPadOS.
There is not.
Honestly, in my experience, have you been having issues with iOS 16 and iPad OS 16?
No. but
I've had
I'm
a
only on
couple
iOS
minor
16.
bugs with iOS 16, but iPadOS 16 has been the worst.
Yeah, for some reason, I've never experienced any serious bugs in iOS 16
Neither have
outside the first 8 betas. But I do remember the RTM, whatever it's called. It had some issues. I was thinking, oh my god, this is not going to go down well.
Apparently there's an update available, so I'll be updating to 16.5.1, so...
Yeah, I think that's fixed some issues with one
hope
of
it
the Apple
does.
adapters.
Well, it's no. Well, at least iPadOS 15.4 works just fine for me on this iPad.
Oh, you haven't updated it since 15.4.1?
15.4.
He refuses to update his devices.
Yeah.
I just dropped this iPad. Did it suffering damage? Oh, yes, it got a big scratch. Is it
Yeah,
cracked?
but-
Come on, Touch ID. Why does this not have Face ID?
If you're having issues with iOS 16, even I think iOS 17 is going to fix a lot of those issues.
Have you tried out iOS 17?
I'm currently running it on my phone and my iPad, and I'm running watchOS 10 on my Apple Watch.
That's cool. I don't really beta test just because they're not that stable and because I'd rather not update my devices.
Well, I see what you're saying, but you get the full functionality out of your device if you get software updates.
Honestly, I'd rather just get a new device
and you
that
get
comes
the
with a
latest features.
newer version, so that way I can sell. So that way, if I ever get in a financial crisis, I can sell my Apple devices for way more money.
I still don't know how older versions of software have more value than newer ones. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
It's the simplicity of supply and demand, Alpha. As more and more people update their devices, the supply for iPhones running older versions goes down. But as collectors get more enthusiastic about having a blast to the past and want it to be exactly as it is on day one, demand goes up. So what happens if supply is low and demand is high, Alpha? You should have learned this in school.
I don't understand the demand for older software. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, especially on some devices like the iPhone 6s and SE1, they run so terribly on iOS 15 that you want an older version. The same goes with all A5 devices on iOS.
What were they thinking? Updating A5 devices to iOS 9?
I don't know.
Wasn't there some sort of class action lawsuit because it was so awful?
No, there wasn't. It's just a meme in the tech community. It's one of the first memes in the tech community I became aware of.
Holy crap!
What's going on?
I really hope this is not under AppleCare Plus.
What's the repair call?
Bring it in for repair, find a Genius Bar or Apple authorized service provider near you. $419 estimated cost?
That's for without AppleCare Plus.
Where is AppleCare Plus?
I don't know. I think you have to be on the desktop website.
trying it through the support app, but jeez. Oh, what the heck? I'll deal with it later.
All right. Well, we have some more news we have some Microsoft news now.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Windows 12 beta has officially leaked with some minor changes compared to Windows 11.
Ooh, what are they?
Minor as in they updated their icons or something?
Yep, they just did some small UI changes.
I'm gonna look that up on the beta wiki because you can find info about literally any build of any software on there. I don't know if that's on there.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber named Enderman who was able to modify a leaked Windows 12 ISO, a leaked Windows 12 image, and was able to show it off in a YouTube video. Hence why he probably got struck on YouTube.
Yeah, you know when that Windows 11 build leaked 2 years ago?
Yeah.
People's Microsoft accounts were getting banned if they signed into it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So does this mean I might end up coming out with a Windows 12 rant this year?
It's expected to come out next spring.
Oh, so next spring is when my Windows 12 rant will come out.
And that's if Microsoft...
Wait, it's coming out... It's coming out spring 2024?
That's what the rumor is for. There's no official... It's not official.
So they're asking me to still be mad at them again, eh? You hadn't had enough, Microsoft?
And it did crash
Is it...
And when Enderman tried it, he did run into many issues. Which we know aren't going to get fixed.
I just pray to God, like, I just hope that Microsoft takes the time to just figure out how to get the operating system to work decently.
We all know that's impossible, Jordan.
Yeah,
we can't always
this is
get what we
Microsoft
want.
and Windows we're talking about.
But I just Googled it up, and it's Windows 12 build 25150.1. And it looks like the icons, they're on a floating panel in the weather, and like the taskbar icon, some of the other taskbar, like the date and the time, those are on separate windows.
Yeah, I think
and
they
the
moved...
search, and there's a search panel on the top of the screen.
They're copying Mac OS! Let me see that just to make sure, but I think they're copying Mac OS.
Do you want me to put it in the Discord chat?
Go for it.
I'll copy the link on Reddit and put it in the Discord chat.
Oh, maybe it isn't copying Mac OS.
I just put it in the Discord chat.
Alright, let's see.
Okay, so it's not copying... The dock still looks a lot like iPad OS and Mac OS dock. Like, it's not exactly, but it is suspicious.
One thing I wish Microsoft would copy was the stability of Mac OS.
That's the only thing they need to copy.
They're getting rid of the taskbar?
But is
What?
Is Mac
How am I
OS
supposed to pull
Ventura
up Mac
stable?
Task Manager now?
Is anyone using Mac OS Ventura?
Yes.
Is it stable?
Yes, I am.
Is it stable?
It's been okay. The only bug that I've experienced was an update from a month or so ago. What happened was iCloud was really starting to have issues uploading stuff to the point where even at a fast internet connection, I could not really upload stuff to iCloud. And then the other issue was it completely broke Unlock with Apple Watch.
Yeah, and the latest
did
Mac
they
OS
fix it?
Ventura update is fixed.
Yeah, they fixed it. It's working now.
Did they fix it in 13.4.1?
Oh, they fixed it a while back.
Oh.
If I recall, I've had the bug for like 2 weeks, and then they issued another update, and that fixed it.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't had any bugs on this current build of Ventura that I'm on.
Has anyone tried out Mac OS Sonoma?
Nope.
No, I don't get betas on any of my devices.
I think Tabby.
Yeah, don't.
I know Tabby's the only
I wait for
one
the
this
official
podcast
release.
that has tested out betas, and even though I'm still not sure if he's tested out macOS Sonoma beta.
Yeah, Jordan,
Well,
you
knowing
guys,
his macOS situation, I don't think he would.
you guys want to know something interesting about macOS
What?
Sonoma? Sonoma Beta 1, they compiled it on May 22nd, like 2 or 3 weeks before WWDC.
I did not know that.
Makes sense.
I did not know that, but
Yeah.
that sort of makes sense.
Makes sense. They gotta spend time filming it and such, so it makes sense that they got the whole beta compiled by then.
Yeah, it takes longer than 2 weeks to do it, so they're using some pre-Beta 1 software in WWDC demos.
Yep, that's the sadness of pre-recorded events now.
Can't see it demoed live.
You know,
Just like Apple
if you
Vision
look-
Pro, the shadiness of Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, if you look closely at some software demos, you can see like ever so slight differences. You know,
The biggest difference I can notice in iOS 1 software development, which is then called iPhone Firmware 1, is that on iPhone Firmware 1.0 in the demos, there was no YouTube app, but there was on the final release.
oh, they announced that in June at WWDC 2007, their contract with Google, and they had Google Maps, and they had YouTube.
I did not know that. Oh, that makes sense.
Like, a year ago, I did a Twitter thread, of some, iOS 1 demo differences from January 2007 versus the final one. And, like, on the Mail app, there's, like, a split view, kind of, where you could, like, view your messages.
Oh,
and
I
then
remember
read it.
that.
Oh, yeah, like, a year ago I did that on Twitter.
Yeah. It would be nice to see you post more content to YouTube again.
Well, that's something, I don't really want to do. But this summer, I'm trying not to do so much work. I want to try to find it and put it in the Discord chat.
Alright.
I'm scrolling through my profile to try to find it.
My hair is really a mess right now.
Oh, mine's drenched in sweat.
Mine is just getting long. That's why I'm either going to embrace long hair or else get a haircut.
I'm still trying to get my mullet back.
My hair is down my forehead right now.
You're growing a mullet,
Hey Siri,
Alpha?
what's the temperature in here?
It's 86 degrees Fahrenheit in the office.
Makes sense. It's so hot in here.
I don't know. I can survive in that, but
Do you guys think Siri's crappy?
no.
I think she's fine.
Yeah.
Like she's not amazing or anything, but she's not as garbage as so many people like to describe her.
Like Sam Cole especially.
Well, on Twitter today, I said Siri's kind of crappy. Teddy, as you know.
Yes.
I said, Apple makes the best headset in the world, yet they give it the crappiest voice assistant there is.
There is one issue I do have with Siri that I find very major. She keeps randomly triggering on my watch.
She still does that on my grandmother's Apple Watch.
How many times do you think Siri is going to get accidentally triggered in normal conversation just because all you have to say is Siri? It
happens to
in
me
iOS 17.
Yeah, it happens to me at least 5 times a day. And with that new 17 update where now you don't need to have the hey in front of it, something tells me I'm going to trigger it roughly 50 times to 100 times per day.
I
Well, you
think
can
might
also
be
do
able
one.
to-
There's one thing that Alpha can do to fix that, and it's called don't update.
Yeah, slight problem. I always update because I want those latest features.
I think.
But there's no wait. You need the download Apple Maps offline.
I think.
Yeah.
In iOS 17, there's an option where you can disable just saying COE. You can disable it so it won't accidentally trigger all the time.
Yeah, you can turn off the Hey Siri functionality and such, and yep, my HomePod just went off.
Oh, really?
Yep, because I just said that phrase.
Just add
Without
a
even
gap
thinking.
in between when you say hey and COE. I'm adding a gap to when I say COE so it doesn't trigger anyone's devices.
That's why Apple actually cuts out certain frequencies that when they say Siri in their WWDC keynotes, so that way they don't accidentally trigger people's devices.
They failed. I've had her trigger because they've said it while I was watching an Apple keynote.
Really?
My HomePod went off.
Alright. Well,
So, yep, that didn't work.
Yeah.
are you guys ready
but-
to are you guys ready to move
Yeah.
on to my final topic of a Mac that cannot run Siri that I have to show?
Really? Is it your 2008 iMac?
Yes, it is. So without further ado, let's change the camera perspective just a little bit to where we can focus on my iMac. Well, if I can get this.
At least a corner of it.
This is so hard to video.
That looks so much like my iMac.
That's because they have the exact same design.
I don't think they have the exact same I/O, however. Like, does that thing have 3 or 4 USBs?
I don't know. Let me take a look. Hang on, it has 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it has 4. Alright, let's turn this baby on.
I haven't turned mine on in months.
What version of OS 10 or Mac OS is it running?
You're about to
Is it on Leopard? Oh, I can already tell. It's on at least I don't know.
Mine's on, what is it, Catalina?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he patched it.
Is that a 2008 iMac?
I have a 2009.
I think I saw on Twitter last year someone got macOS Ventura to boot on a 2008 MacBook Air,
Yep.
and it crashed immediately.
That makes sense.
Somebody got Monterey running on a black MacBook, but it crashed instantly.
Monterey?
It's running macOS 10.7.5.
How come you didn't set that? I think you should set that that Galaxy wallpaper. That's one of the best macOS wallpapers.
I had it,
think
but I
there is.
personally like this wallpaper better.
I have to admit, I really like that. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I didn't even know macOS Lion used to have such good wallpapers. I have an iMac G3 keyboard and a Mighty Mouse plugged into this, which I already had. But
Mighty Mouse, you should go Magic Mouse.
they got sued for that. That's why they went Magic.
What?
They got sued for the name Mighty Mouse, so they had to change it to the Magic Mouse.
Oh really? How come? Who tried to sue him?
Because of the cartoon Mighty Mouse.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Apple should have known, but they They have some cool wallpapers in here, like the galaxy, the beach,
Oh yeah,
the bristlegrass. The beach and the bristlegrass stayed up until I think maybe Mac.
I see
know
the
they were in
beach
Big
again.
Sur. Ducks on Misty Pond, which
If any of you noticed, my Discord profile pictures is that galaxy wallpaper.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right, Eagle and Waterfall, which is actually the last wallpaper I had in my black MacBook on my first black MacBook on its original hard drive before it died.
What's that beach wallpaper? Oh, I think they put that one in iOS.
Yes, it's on iOS 5 and 6, and it stayed macOS for many years.
Yeah.
This is the elephant wallpaper that I know is in High Sierra. This is the flamingos,
Yeah, I've seen those before.
floating leaves, forest and mist, grass blades. I think this is on leopard. This is one of my favorites, the Isles. Lake, lion, this is one of my favorites. Moon, which is actually a really good one. Mount Fuji, pink forest, that's a pretty hilarious one. Pink lotus flower, poppies, and red bells.
Oh. Too bad it doesn't have the leopard wallpaper.
Yeah, they got rid of most of the classic macOS Snow Leopard, the version that preceded Lion, had all the wallpapers from macOS. Yeah, it had all the macOS 10 wallpapers, at least the default ones, but Lion got rid of a lot of them, or most of them.
But the leopard wallpaper is I think probably my favorite Apple wallpaper of all time.
My favorite is probably what's one that I really like? The iOS 7 wallpaper is certainly one of them. So is the iOS 4 and 5 one. I like the live wallpapers on the iPhone 6s the best.
Mhm.
Those are my favorite. Yeah, but this iMac works just fine. And it runs macOS Lion, though. I need to get a USB drive or something, or else figure out how to get the image download from the internet on that thing to put it up to at least macOS El Capitan. It's maximum officially supported macOS. And if I figure out the right screw that I need to upgrade the RAM, I'll upgrade the RAM in it to probably 8 gigabytes. And of course, I will do the classic upgrade that I always told Alpha that he should do.
Yeah.
Or at least I want to. And then I might take it up to Catalina. In case
I wish I could find a new GPU for that thing.
I think the later design ones actually are GPU upgradable, which is kind of sad. As even the late 2009, I think, is GPU upgradable. Like, it's not soft.
Oh, that's an early 2009 I've got, and I am pretty sure the GPUs are removable. At least I think they're on their own separate motherboard or something.
If they're
But
separable, then you should be able to find one.
yeah, except I don't want to invest in older tech right now. I've sold my black books. If that wasn't a big sign to you, that I'm trying to sell some of the older tech that I have, because that's not what I need in my life right now.
Yeah, I saw an iOS 3 iPad Mini 3 on eBay that was only $100 that I believe is still for sale, but right now I don't need to be investing in older tech because I want to go up to Final Cut Pro, but this 2019 MacBook Pro cannot run Final Cut Pro, or it can, but it does not.
I thought you didn't want it.
Now I've tried it. Now I'm actually more interested in it.
Really? So what changed your mind?
I discovered that there's a new dedicated YouTube format to make it about as fast, and I like the background. I like the extra features, like the background transitions, and I like the extra text features that you can add to your videos.
For me, what I really like about it is there's a dedicated hotkey where your mouse becomes the cut tool or the razor tool or whatever they call it, the blade tool, whatever. And all I have to do is just click, 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 click around the silence bits, and then I can instantly delete them from right there. I love the color correction features of it as well. It's allowed me to actually put a much better lighting since these yellow ceiling lights do not help my videos at all.
I personally like my video lighting as long as it's daytime.
You got yellow light? I think that's the best color of lights. Like yellow.
No, it's too yellow though. That's the problem.
Oh.
Yeah, it makes everything appear yellow and orange. Like, it makes it look like night shifts turned on.
Yeah, I can kind of tell that in your I can tell that a lot in your older video. I could are they the same types of lights that are in your basement? Because I can tell that in your older videos. And I can tell
might be.
And I can tell that once you move, and I can tell that even in your older videos once you moved upstairs, I could tell.
Yeah, I know that they definitely got yellower as I moved up here because there's a lot less natural light in here. Despite that, I gained an extra window. Funny enough.
Yeah, whereas I have plenty of natural light in my room, just except for the fact that I had to move my desk back to move my entire desk since there wasn't enough natural light in that corner of my room. I had to move it this way. Just to make my videos look good So, do you guys remember back between August and October 2021 when I briefly moved my desk to be that way? When I first got my L-shaped desk?
I don't.
Does Jordan
No,
remember
I don't
that?
at all.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, that's because I vaguely mentioned it, but that's part of the reason why my videos. That's when I first got my L-shaped desk and removed the carpet in my room. So I basically redid my room, and I had to really rethink my room that just never worked out. Like, I got the light, this light in the corner as a result back when it was still over there, just to try to add natural light there, as my mom wanted me to experiment since it was so much harder to film at my desk than it was to film videos at my it was the same window, but it was my dresser before then, 2021, but it was just so hard to film it with proper natural lighting that I had to either do face videos where I talk like this, so that way where I talk and feature my face just to get more lighting in my videos, or else I'd do screen recordings, or else what I eventually did in late September and in October 2021 for the first part of it until my mom moved everything to be in this corner again. I actually filmed outside just so that way I could get enough lighting. But of course I fixed that because in October there's not exactly that many more months of nice weather outside left where you actually want to film outside.
Yeah, I remembered when you did that. I think that was also when you made your videos about about how you didn't like Tesla.
That was the first part of iPod month.
I think so.
My mom doesn't actually let me show my face in my YouTube videos when I used to do that. So,
well, I'm an adult, so I get to make that decision for myself.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
But, my recording setup, can I send you guys a picture on Discord?
Yes. I think I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I put it on my Instagram like 2 years ago. But I have 2 iPads. I'll send a close-up picture.
Do you still have that recording set?
Huh.
Do you still have that
That's kinda
recording
nice.
setup, or do you use a different setup now? Or if you were to
Um,
make videos?
Well, my recording setup, I set it up in my closet. And now it's quite dusty for a reason.
Yeah, which is that
Um,
somebody hasn't made any YouTube videos lately, which I do miss.
You're guilt tripping me into making YouTube videos, but I might do it again maybe if I find something really interesting.
Well, what made you stop?
I started another business, kind of.
Oh, and just
Um,
devoted more time to that?
yeah, yeah, I had a paper airplane business, and that did not go well, like, at all.
Well, people can make paper airplanes at home for free, so...
Yeah, I've tried to advertise many times that they're, like, super high-quality paper airplanes or something, but nobody still bought them. But, I set up my recording in my closet, and I have lamps on both sides of it, and I set up these, like, breakfast in bed table kind of things, they're like plastic.
Oh, that's
and I put them
cool.
on top of them, and I cut a hole in the top of it so I could record with my phone, and there'd be enough light.
That's actually pretty ingenious.
Yeah, if you've seen some of my first videos from, like, December 2020, you might have noticed, it was, like, a paper setup, and it had, like, I'll try to send you guys a picture. It's hard to explain, but it was, like, made of paper, and it had a white background, and I set up an iPod box.
Oh yeah, I remember that setup.
Yeah, I sent it, I don't think,
Well, I figured out what cracked my iPad.
Your phone?
Remember when I dropped my phone as I was trying to...
Oh, it fell
Pull
on
up
your
that-
iPad.
It fell on the iPad. That's what cracked the iPad.
I guess
User damage. Proof right there.
I guess Tabby Fairs is right. The iPhone XS Max
And the
has
phone's still fine.
one big problem, as it now destroys iPad. Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, I remember that setup. That's what you did. Your iPod Touch 4 is your iPod Touch 4 worth in 2021 video.
when I did an unboxing. Have you seen my unboxing? I did like 2 years ago.
Yes, I did. I haven't watched your old video. I
turned out
sometimes
to
still
be
go
a
watch
scam.
your old videos, but I don't too often, but I still like to do that sometimes. I remember back when I was in sixth grade, especially when I was taking breaks in the middle of the school day, just watching Jordan's videos, because that's how much I love Jordan's YouTube videos.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna start making YouTube videos again since you like it so much.
Don't do it just for
What?
me. Do it for your other subscribers too.
Yeah, I've somehow gotten 380 something.
Yeah, channel.
But
Even the Apple
I
buyer
cannot
is
get
still
that
gaining
attention.
subscribers, and he hasn't uploaded consistently for 5 years.
yeah, but shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, since my paper airplane business colossally failed, I haven't been uploading videos now since I'm back to my current business. But I've been working on my new website since I'm totally rebuilding it.
Alright.
So that's
Yeah.
actually what I'm gonna do, and I took like a month break from it, so I'm gonna start doing that like next month again. And maybe I'll have some time in between to upload YouTube videos.
I'm just trying to get time to edit them again. I'm so tired of going to bed at 1:30 in the morning every night.
I can imagine that's quite irritating. Why don't you just adopt
And
my
I gotta
idea?
be up by 8 o'clock so I can get ready to go into work.
Why don't you just
Oh, really?
adopt my...
Where do you work?
I work at a machine shop. I'm a CNC machinist.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool job.
But Alpha, why don't you just adopt my editing style to save time?
Because no offense, but I find your editing style to be a little lower quality than my editing style.
My editing style is perfect. It doesn't involve any color correction, so everything looks natural.
Y'all can't be talking like.
And I
Like-
clarify all the incorrect information in the video with text on screen, and I cut out all the silent bits.
Yeah, I've already found some tactics to help me reduce the time I spend editing. Like, I've now done the Tailosive approach, where I now have one audio track basically looping over and over itself. And for the most part, the color correction, that's only at the very beginning. That doesn't actually add much time at all. So,
Well,
What
still,
video
it
editor
only-
do you guys use?
I use
Final Cut.
Oh, Final Cut. I thought you used iMovie.
He used
Nope,
to.
I'm a Final Cut guy.
You use iMovie, Teddy?
Yeah, Alpha used to use iMovie as well.
For a free video editor, it is real solid, especially on the Mac. Not on iOS or iPadOS,
I actually
unfortunately.
think iMovie's pretty solid on iOS and iPadOS.
I can't do much with it, unfortunately.
I
tried
actually can. I
using-
can add clips together and I can do all the necessary stuff. And I can add text if I want to.
I tried using mobile iMovie one time, and it was pretty awful.
Was it on iOS 6 that you did it?
Oh no. That was a challenge that I did in September. Oh, that's actually when I made my cardboard iPhone foldable concept.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I still have that on my dresser.
Yeah, back when I was doing YouTube Shorts, I tried editing them on my iPhone at first, but I had to go back to Final Cut.
I don't like editing on desktop. I use a video editor called VN, which is short for vlog now. And I've been using it since June 2021. June or July 2021, because I used to use one called Filmmaker Pro or something.
That had
it
that
had
had a
some really-
watermark.
Oh yeah, that watermark. That's why I ditched it, because everyone was screaming and crying about it in my comments.
Yeah, I used to. I don't know who did that. It definitely was not me. Definitely wasn't me.
There was some guy called the Meme Sound or
Oh,
something.
I remember him.
To put it this way, I colossally wrecked our YouTube friendship, kind of. I just want to put it that way. That was, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about that. That was totally my fault.
Was that because of the watermark?
No. Let's just say it was, I had a page on my site called My Favorite YouTube Videos or something. Remember a few years ago I asked if I could put your YouTube videos up on it? And that was a colossal failure. Because, I didn't update it enough, and the videos were just sitting there. And this person was posting, let's just put it as some videos I didn't agree with. And he definitely saw it as me trying to control his channel. And that kind of was what it was. I totally regret doing that. You know, I should have just shut up and not put his videos on there at all.
That's okay.
So that's one of my other colossal failures.
Yeah, so far I've used other people's videos in my videos just for quotations and haven't gotten any complaints yet. Even if it doesn't picture them in the best light.
Oh, I remember another stupid thing I did a few years ago. The Meme Sound, we uploaded one of my videos and he was getting pissed off because I didn't have music in my videos.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Oh dear.
I think the Meme Sound actually uploaded Upload one of your
He
videos.
uploaded one of my videos and put music in the background, and him and this other person.
And I
got
remember
in an
Smalley
argument in
Games
his
comment.
comments.
Remember Smalley Games?
Yes, he deleted his channel in July 2021.
Well, I have two stories to tell about him, but the first minor one is that he commented, "You stole Jordan's video? That's unfair." And the second is that he kept making fun of me for being a Windows and Android hater. And sometimes I still wondered where he went, but now I guess I know where he is.
He in Small Games and the Meme Sound got into a colossal argument in his comment section over him copyright infringing on me. And I got pissed off. I got especially pissed off when he said that I don't know how to add music. And if you notice, April 5th, 2021, I uploaded a video called How to Add Music to a YouTube video. And I did a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. And I got really pissed off because he said I didn't know how to do it. And I screenshotted his comment and put it back in the end. And I said, I was not born yesterday. And that probably pissed him off.
You did the
But I
right
still
thing,
have-
though.
Yeah, I still have that sitting on my channel somewhere.
I remember back on you.
That's funny.
I remember just earlier today on my Nightshade downgrade tutorial from June of 2020, somebody commented, "Does this work on Windows?" And if you look on my Nightshade downgrade tutorial, you'll notice I put Mac required in the title. The title, mind you.
I think that's people just going straight to the comment section. That happens too.
I hate that so much, especially when they complain about something and then I literally address it 2 seconds later.
Like, for
Yeah,
example,
you know,
that guy
you should-
who commented about the 2011 MacBook Pro being great.
God, I'm so dumb.
But shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say. But
Yeah, I gotta read that comment again. I just love bringing that up. It's so funny and dumb.
Oh, on
yeah,
the Oh, and then that guy on the Nightshade tutorial, he commented on my video, but he then responded, "Well, Windows, yeah, I know it's a Mac video, but I just want to know, is it Windows compatible?" I'm like, "Oh, I said that in the title and the video,
You know,
stupid."
I
I
have
don't like
a
to call
video.
people. I don't like to call people stupid, but oh my gosh, she actually responded. "I have Windows. I don't have a Mac."
I posted my most popular video has 54,000 views. It just crossed 50,000 a few weeks ago. And it's called iOS 16 on iPhone 4S concept, based off some concepts I found on Twitter. And I put concept in all capitals in the title. Yet people are like, this is fake, how do I download iOS 16 on a 4S? And, it's literally sitting in the title, and I pinned someone's comment, about them saying, those comments saying it's fake and everything are just stupid.
Oh my gosh, that person responded again in my Nightshade downgrade tutorial. She said, "I have Windows and I don't have a Mac." I'm like, but you just need to read the title and you'll figure everything out. Like, do you have a brain?
It's just too bad if you don't have a Mac.
Oh, I'll go on YouTube. I'll go on YouTube to find it.
How many comments? 28? Jeez.
What was a
Alright,
popular video? That's pretty typical for my popular content.
What's
Here
your
it
most
is.
popular-
Spatial
what's-
Zebra. Oh, this comment. I love this one so much just because he's trying to say that all of my points on why the 2011 MacBook Pro is not a good laptop to use today. Alright, here we go. First off, he states, "You actually don't really have any knowledge."
Oh, I saw that! It's from Spatial Zebra.
I have one, and mine is perfect as a daily driver.
That. You get say he doesn't have any knowledge. You have knowledge, Alpha.
Yeah, I'm a CNC machinist. I think I got knowledge. Alright, anywho, I have one and mine is perfect as a daily driver. Why? SSD. Okay, yeah, mine definitely needed that. Catalina patcher. Oh, yeah, that broke my video editor when I tried that. So, yeah, had to revert back. New thermal paste, clean cooler, and good battery condition. By the way, some of those things that I did try, but all those other things, they wouldn't matter. They wouldn't fix my other issues with it. Windows 10 is... Oh, this is hilarious. Windows 10 is fine. And Windows 11 too, when set up nicely. Again, knowledge, you idiot!
What are you using it on?
2011 MacBook Pro.
Windows is the crappiest thing I've ever used.
My XPS hasn't even turned a year old, and yet Windows still sucks. Oh, jeez. I don't know what this guy's talking about. He's full of crap. I had MagSafe cables ripped. Repaired them with the soldering iron and electrical tape.
You can just repair them with electrical tape.
If any random Yahoo knows how to solder. No one knows how to do that. Display isn't great, but usable. That was my biggest rant. I hated the display on
I
that
hate
thing
the display
so
on
much.
13-inch MacBook Pros too. And I'm not even a big screen fanatic.
Yes, you go big or you go home. That's how you do it around here. But also I've had other complaints, like color accuracy wasn't great, resolution sucked. I hated the thick bezels on that thing. Yeah, I hated every single thing about that display. It is just bad by today's standards. What else?
Oh, and the bezels. You are way too choosy. This just doesn't matter.
Yeah, nice try, guy. They do. Oh, FireWire is useless, but it being there is not a problem.
Yes, it is. It's wasting space.
When's the last Apple product that even used FireWire?
I don't know.
The 2012 MacBook Pro. Unibody.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. What else? USBs are too close to each other. I agree. And they are also 2.0, which is a problem for somebody like me.
But
I just get by using it.
You can just get a new computer that has better USBs, stupid.
Yeah, the USB ports are too close to each other and they're kind of slow, but hey, it's fine. It's perfect.
It's not.
New Macs with M1 are terrible. I mean, they feel good, the performance is quite insane, but the SSD has wired hidden encrypted volumes paired with the firmware.
If your SSD dies, you are screwed.
Even replacing the soldered SSD with a hot air station will not fix it.
As it won't bring these volumes back.
Well, that's the same case with a dead hard drive or dead SSD that's removable. Like, what's the difference? Yeah, there is none. It doesn't matter if the product is easy to remove or if it's stuck in place. If it's dead, it's dead. None of that stuff is coming back. So, what's his point? It's the same thing with that battery thing that we were discussing. If the battery... What's the environmental difference between easy to remove and not easy to remove? Exactly. There isn't any. Alright. What else? So here Apple is limiting the lifespan of their machines drastically on purpose. I think that thing's going to age way better than that 2011 MacBook Pro.
It's aged so terribly.
Yeah, so bad. And there is no there is no performance advantage to doing
Yes,
this.
there is! You said that in the video, too!
He's contradicting himself!
He's
They're
contradicting.
extremely selfish. They do not care about their environment.
They that is
are
true,
disrespectful to their
That
customers.
is true. They are sometimes disrespectful to their customer.
Who,
Yeah,
Apple?
very true.
I respond.
Yeah, Apple.
I responded.
But-
Guess what I responded to that guy just now?
Oh dear, I gotta refresh that.
I asked him, "Is it your 2011 MacBook Pro still holding up today?"
Has it really been over a year since I uploaded that?
I responded to the Spatial Zebra's comment though. Let's just hope he doesn't find this podcast.
Yeah. Man, I just hate it when people leave comments like this because they try to act like you're stupid. They're the one with all the knowledge. They're the genius. They found the meaning of life or something. When in reality, they're just making themselves look like idiots.
He's that guy. Those people are just like Hugh Jeffries.
What's your issue with Hugh Jeffries?
It's not. It's what. Oh, so I don't have as big of a beef with him as Tabby does, but because Tabby was more in the tech community as he was being scandalous and polite, but what happened was...
What do you mean, scandalous? That's just stupid.
And then he quit Twitter when Tabby managed to... Tabby made him quit Twitter when he edited a photo of Hugh Jeffries' face on a donkey and put a donkey's face on his body.
That's kind of. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of cruel.
That is, but it's at the same time a babyish move to just leave Twitter because of that. And Hugh Jeffries was being cruel. But my problem with Hugh Jeffries is that he spreads too much false information in his videos that is just purely propaganda, political propaganda against Apple.
Yeah, he literally has no clue that's actually
Political
easier to get into an iPhone
propaganda?
than it is a Samsung.
Yeah,
I won't go as far as saying political propaganda.
but it's
Maybe I've.
it's literal. It is literally political propaganda as it's focusing on as it's discussing political issues and it's only discussing one side, which technically counts as propaganda.
Oh, so Apple batteries and Apple's now a political issue.
And the environment is a political issue.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The only time I actually flat out block or remove someone is if they are actually in the process of trying to violate YouTube's terms of services, but also like they're doing something dangerous.
I just block everybody whenever they do something that I don't. Whenever they do something that violates my rules, which is being mean to me. Or else leaking personal information about me.
Yeah, that's an obvious one that,
That's
We all
perfectly
should
normal to
block.
block someone for.
Yeah.
yeah, leaking personal information. And for me, biggest reason why I'll block up people other than they're trying to leak my personal information if they somehow even manage to get it, is if they're just being flat out creepy.
Yeah, like
Oh.
received two comments on my YouTube videos, both saying that they people loved the people, even if they were, who knows if they were actually people claiming that they loved me, and one person even claimed that it loved me and that we went to the same school, when I know that was actually not the case.
Oh, but how do you remember? Oh, when my Twitter got hacked a few months ago, and
Yes.
it was tweeting out incredibly creepy things.
Yes, it tweeted that your Twitter crush was me.
Oh my god!
What?
And, like,
What's a
I don't
Twitter
know- I don't know.
crush?
Like, that's a thing. Like, I thought it was like a Twitter crush. No one has a Twitter crush. Just
People-
TikTok crushes. That's it.
People have
But,
real
like,
crushes, but not
it was
Twitter
just basing
crushes.
that off. That we're always replying to each other's tweets, so it based it off that, and then tweeted it all over.
That's embarrassing even. That's embarrassing even to me.
And
Again, what's wrong with people? What is wrong with them?
I don't know.
Why is this normal? I hate it
Why
so
would
much.
Why would I have a crush on anybody on Twitter when I can just have a crush on an actual girl that I know?
like half the people on Twitter don't even have like a face profile picture.
Well, to be
So,
fair,
like,
that's not me either.
So I don't think. I don't think Twitter crushes actually exist. That's not a thing, I don't think.
Yeah, but speaking of Twitter crushes, I have been running into a similar or an issue along the reins of that on Twitter that I do want to briefly discuss just to make people aware of this.
Yeah,
Okay.
is it those scammy OnlyFans girls?
Yeah, it's those scammy pretty women that keep liking my
Oh.
tweets. I've gotten 3 likes so far from 3 different
You know-
accounts they all say the same. They all have the exact same tweets and profile, and not the same profile pictures, but the same bios. And so I just block all those accounts.
Yeah, you know that Titanic submersible incident?
We are not going to be
This-
discussing
this-
that on TIFP.
This is related to Twitter. Can I tell you about what one of those scammy OnlyFans girls did to the stepson of that billionaire?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he tweeted out, "Please pray for my family," and then about 30 minutes later, this OnlyFans girl on Twitter, she posted a and she
Ew.
said, and she said, anyone, and she said, can I? And I'm not gonna say it on here. I want to keep this family friendly. And he's like, yes, please.
Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna have to remember to put it in the notes to make episode 41 explicit, just because that's
Yeah.
just because that's important. And it's okay. Make episode 42 explicit.
Yeah, I've been getting some crazy, not as crazy as what you guys are discussing, but I've been getting some 2 different types of random DMs from similar groups of people, actually. One is random Joe Schmoes with Joe Schmo names, like nothing special. And what they really are just scammers that are asking me to launder money for them.
Yep.
Is it like the Nigerian prince scams?
No, these are people from India asking me to take up a job from quote-unquote Amazon and handle payment funds and such like that.
What is? I'll have to ask my dad if he's getting those scams, because my dad typically gets business related scams like that.
You know, last year, you know those goddamn Amazon scammers.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, they called up my grandmother, and she panicked so much, that she screen shared her computer, and they got access to her bank account, and they almost stole her entire life savings.
Oh my! Oh my! That's why you make people aware of scams.
And I remember that was like almost a year ago, 2 weeks ago, and thank God it got resolved in time. They didn't get to any of her life savings.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
And
It
that
just made me
actually,
worried. How far into the process did they get?
not that far. They didn't steal anything, but they did trick her.
There's a reason
And
why I don't
that
trust a
pissed-
lot of the Indian voices whenever I'm on tech support.
Yeah, you know, that pissed me off so much on like my news article I used to send out every week. I added a section about how to avoid scams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be important.
And
I thought about just doing a scam baiting video and just really making them upset by locking them out of their computers or
That's illegal.
Oh, I gotta find that one function in Windows to disable their CPU.
That's creepy,
Oh.
Alpha. Like that's actually creepy stuff.
no, that would actually
they're
that'd
scammers,
actually be
but they
hilarious.
They're scammers, but that's still illegal to disable stuff on other people's computers without their permission.
Well, it's illegal to steal money from us anyways.
Are they gonna report
It is.
you?
What?
They can't. I don't think they can.
They won't report you because, well, they'll get exposed.
Well, how are they supposed to identify that? Because their computers are disabled. They can't use their CPU. So how do they check the logs?
That's a good point.
Because their computer won't turn on. They can't use the CPU.
They'll have to get a new CPU, and then you can just disable that one.
No, they disable the whole socket on the motherboard. That's what the function does. So it doesn't matter what CPU you use. It flat out disables it.
So you have to get a new computer
Yeah.
and basically spend all the money.
That's
you're
how
making off
poorly
the scams
designed
and-
Windows is. There's that big of an exploit.
Oh my gosh! When somebody could literally use that exploit in a malware attack and basically disable everybody's Windows computers.
Dear idiots who might happen to be watching this episode, do not get any ideas.
Because we're not about to have... Because if Apple becomes the number one computer... Because don't do that. Because then we'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
We could say that we're not in trouble if some idiot decides to do it.
Yeah.
That is true. Do not try that at home. Do not try to disable people's
We are
CPU.
not liable for any damages that may occur if you do decide
Yeah,
to
we are
continue
not
with this
legally
process.
responsible for any damages that
Yep,
happen
we're not
because
legally.
this information
I'm
got
not
out.
legally responsible. Even Tabby isn't
Yeah.
legally responsible.
I
None
don't
of us
even
are
know how to
legally
do it, so I
responsible
can't
for
make a
any-
video tutorial on that.
Any damages that happen to
So-
people's computer.
Yeah, still, I can't believe there's that big of an exploit in there. I discovered this from a friend last year. Their brother was randomly playing around with it, and somehow they managed to find the exploit. They somehow... I think they were messing around the terminal or something. I don't remember what they did, but they disabled his CPU, and he had to get a new computer.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh my goodness. Why is Windows this terribly designed?
I don't
You know,
know.
on the terminal, on school computers, you can disable tracking software.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I'm sure my classmates in high school are quickly gonna find out how to do that.
Yeah, people
Here's how I do that. Bring in the Mac. Then there's no tracking software.
On the Mac,
No,
they
I
have
mean, like,
Macs at the
school-
high school.
I mean, like, school
But they
software,
can use
like
school-
GoGuardian.
But they can use
Oh.
They can have
that's not-
MDM locks and such on the Macs, and they can have screen time.
I was able to get by with using a VPN. Wish I remember what that VPN was.
Teachers
Oh,
are probably
You
going to be
use that-
watching
you
for
use that
kids
to get
using
around the school software?
VPNs.
Yeah, it was so limiting. Like, even for school functions that we had to do, we were blocked by their firewall. In fact, there was one time it had a bug and it completely blocked Google services.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, at my school,
My old school's firewall was really restricted to the point where we all had to download VPNs just to actually do work on the Chromebooks. It was that bad.
at my school, I'm 6th grade going into 7th grade, and kids are super immature, and they cannot stand those blocks that they have GoGuardian, and that blocks a bunch of sites. And there are these things called proxies where you can
yeah.
enter in. I just direct messaged you about that a few days ago. But you can put in a website, and it'll load it through their server, and then it'll display it on the proxy website. And people have been making these proxies with random names, like the bean.cf is one of them, and egghead.tk is one of them. And the tracking software won't suspect it as being a proxy. So kids use that to get around the school blocks, including me.
Yes,
Wow.
one of my class. So our teachers actually let us play game at my old school. Our teachers would let us play games. Sometimes let us play games if we were finished. And of course, most of them were blocked through the school site. So one of my classmates actually created a website just to get around that.
Really? They went that far?
Yes, he went that far, but eventually
Jeez.
did get blocked by the school.
Yeah, I think this kid at my website, at my school, the teachers are like, you can't play games, you can't do this, you can't do that. And kids use proxies to get around the games, and sometimes the school software doesn't block games. And there was this whole
same.
thing in my school where people would create Google sites, and it's not like they can just block Google sites because it's a school tool. And they'll list a bunch of unblocked
That's
games.
the same.
But this one kid, they were getting so done with it that this one kid who made one of those sites, he got suspended for like a week because they caught him for making those sites.
Suspended for that? Wouldn't that be worth? That's worth a detention. That's not worth a suspension. Because
I
then he
think it might
can't
have
get his
been
work done
proxies too
anyway.
and some other stuff. It wasn't just the game website was a contributing factor.
Did he do other stuff?
He was doing some other stuff.
Did they do some other really bad stuff like drugs or beating other kids up?
Oh, you know these kids in my school, they did get suspended for vaping, and I'm only in 6th grade,
Oh,
and they're already on to vaping.
yeah, that's.
Personally, I'd say that's good that they got suspended for that.
I'm
I
surprised that
seriously
they're lucky
hope-
they didn't get arrested for that.
I don't think you can arrest. I think they just call the parents if they found out a kid under like 8. How old do you have to be to use nicotine?
21.
21, yeah. But if
Yeah.
they found out you were under 21, they might fine you, or I don't know. Maybe they could put you in juvie.
Yeah, they can put. Yeah, it'll officially count as a misdemeanor crime. But
Using drugs or alcohol, using alcohol or nicotine under the age of 21.
Yep.
Yeah.
But my school, at my old school, and I assume my new high school, you're suspended for 3 days if you get caught with a vape or anything, even if it's just on you.
Yeah.
Well, even still, why would you want to do this stuff? I just don't get
I don't
it.
get it
Just-
either.
Like, do you seriously want to develop a nicotine addiction?
I don't know, but why would there be kids in 6th grade that would want to vape?
Yeah, and you know, the popular kids, they seem to be the ones that like to vape for some reason.
Well, at my school, funny enough, it wasn't even the most popular kids that are doing it. That do it, if there are kids that do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just why are you guys trying to get into this? Don't get into this stuff. Everyone constantly says it's bad, and just because your friends do it, sometimes your friends make bad decisions. They're not the people. They're not always. You can't look up to every single thing you do. You look up to the good stuff they do and learn from the bad stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is a situation where
like
you learn
serious-
from the bad stuff.
Like, seriously,
'Cause-
is your popularity as important as your health and mental health? No,
It
it
is
is
not.
To
not.
some, evidently.
You know,
Yeah, to some evidently, which sucks. But yeah, guys, don't get into this stuff. Like I've already had to witness last weekend. Actually, we had a area holiday weekend around here, and some of my uncles came up to celebrate that. And we passed them on our way. Was it to the canal or back from the canal? Back from the canal. They had just left the bar, and one of them was so drunk he couldn't even walk.
yeah.
Then he tried offering me a beer and a cigarette.
Ew.
Oh, really? Are you over 21?
I am not going to say my age, but if I am or not 21 or older, I still choose not to drink and do that stuff
Same.
because I just seen it ruin way too many lives.
Yeah,
Especially
I'm never gonna touch
Especially
that stuff.
smoking.
Oh, I hate smoke. So I hate being around people who smoke.
So
It
do
makes me-
I.
I literally choke around the smoke. I can't be near it.
You know, I heard of this guy on YouTube who was a chronic smoker. And he'd do crazy stuff like breathe through smoke through a gas mask.
Oh my God.
And he'd smoke like 4 cigars and put 2 in his nostrils. And he'd do a
Ew.
bunch of other crazy stuff and had frequent uploads. And he started in 2006, and by summer 2011, on January 2011, he posted an insane smoking video, and he was like, "Oh, I just got back from my oral cancer surgery," and then by summer he was very frail, and he was only in his 20s still, and his last video he was smoking a single cigarette. And he said something at the end, but the smoking ruined his voice so much, it's like, you can't understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
And
guys,
these
just don't
sickos-
do it.
These sickos in the comments kept pushing him on, too.
Don't do this, guys. Don't ruin your lives for. If this is for popularity, like, to me that's stupid. I've always been against it.
From what I understand,
at least smoking and at least doing drugs isn't as socially acceptable as it once was.
weed is kind of socially
I'm still
acceptable.
surprised that my state legalized marijuana.
Yes, that
Really?
should not be legal. I know it can be used
Absolutely not.
to help, but
Are
at
you
the
willing
same
to say what state you live in or not?
Oh yeah, I say what state I live in all the time. Michigan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Michigan. It is legal to have marijuana.
yeah, I think it's still illegal in my state.
Yep, in my state, it is still illegal.
Let's hope it stays that way because
Yeah, ever since it became legal, there's 2 crack house shops that opened right by Walmart.
You know,
marijuana is just so gross. Like, it should not be legalized. I don't care that it can be used to help for people since it harms people more.
I heard this person say that they choose peace and then they do marijuana, and that's clearly another way of saying, I have anxiety and I'm going to smoke this marijuana just so I don't have to deal with it.
But in reality,
To me,
that's not helping anything.
Doesn't that really only just make it worse?
Yeah, you're just kind of suppressing the emotion and it's going to come back in full force then.
Like, this is actually a big reason why I hate virtual reality. It's trying to suppress reality, but it's always going to come back to bite you, whether you want it to or not.
You know, I was in virtual reality. One time, I've only used it once, and I was at some museum, and I was having a particularly bad day. And I kind of got out of the particularly bad day by just going in virtual reality. And then once I got out of virtual reality,
You couldn't
I
get
kind
back.
of felt like good. It was kind of like a high, and then my bad day came back in full force. So I don't really think people going in virtual reality to not tolerate emotions is that common, but it's definitely a way of suppressing them. But it doesn't work.
I do have a question to ask, Jordan.
Yeah.
Did you see those kids vaping or not?
No, I just heard about it.
It could have been fake.
I heard a rumor that they were doing.
Back when I was at public school, you could literally smell it.
Really? Didn't they set up cameras? Oh, yeah, that's right. They can't do that.
I've actually heard a rumor from one of my friends who still went there. They did eventually put up a camera.
In the bathroom?
Yep.
In the stalls?
Overhead.
Oh, could it see in the stalls?
I don't know that detail.
Okay.
I haven't been there for years, but I have heard a rumor that they did end up putting a camera in there.
Yeah, but this happened at a public school too.
It was my old school.
Well, back
Yeah.
when you were in high school, vaping was especially a problem.
Yeah.
But
And now it's plagued by a whole another problem that I'm not getting into on this podcast.
I heard that people think that vaping is less unhealthy than smoking, and that it's not even unhealthy at all. But as a doctor put it, literally anything that's not breathable air should not be going into your lungs.
Pretty much.
Exactly. That myth has now basically been busted, but yeah.
And, you know, these idiots
It doesn't even take Mythbusters to bust that myth.
And these idiots say that the stuff, you know, those massive amounts of fumes that come out of a vape or an e-cigarette, they said that was water vapor, but that's actually some nice sweet chemicals.
Yeah, that's chemicals.
Some flavored chemicals, not stupid water vapor.
Yep.
If it was water vapor, then people wouldn't be dying from it.
Yeah. You know,
If it was water vapor, then I would not be alive right now because it is nothing but hot and humid in here, which means there's a ton of water vapor in the air right now.
You know, it took them, how many years have people been smoking nicotine?
Around, hundreds.
Yeah, this has been
So,
going on for hundreds of
it
years.
took them hundreds of years to find out. Well, when they started getting technological advancements, when people started smoking cigarettes instead of cigars, it took them about 50 years to find out how bad cigarettes were. So from the 40s to I don't know when they started finding out, but it took a long while.
It took once it got to the 1920s and 30s, they started finding out, but not everybody knew until the 1950s, and even then, smoking was still mostly socially acceptable up until the mid 2000s, as there are many movies and a lot of movies and TV shows up until the mid 2000s. You can oftentimes find people smoking.
Yeah, but
I'd be that one guy who put up a no smoking sign at my house.
Same.
That's nice. But crap. Oh yeah, I was watching this show.
Do you think we beat that horse to death at this point? we just been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, but,
actually, I want to hear what Jordan has to say.
I was watching a show from the 60s called The Beverly Hillbillies. You probably heard about it.
I love that show!
Yeah, I
seen
love that
it.
show. And it's available for free on Roku.
Oh, yeah. A lot of old shows are.
It's hilarious. And that was when they were still allowed to have cigarette commercials. And there are a lot of cigarette commercials. So it'd be either Kellogg's or cigarette commercials would be their sponsor.
Yep.
And they'd say, enjoy a nice smoke with insert cigarette brand here.
Nowadays, they don't. I think they allowed cigarette. My grandmother has a magazine from around 2000 that still has an ad for chewing tobacco in it. But I do agree we need to change topics, as this is not a drug podcast.
Yeah.
Nor an anti-drug
Thank you,
podcast.
society, for forcing us to talk about it.
What?
I said thank you for society for forcing us to talk about it. Because if this wasn't as big of a problem as it is, we wouldn't have to talk about this.
But apparently it comes up, so we had to discuss it, though. Do you have any other topics for this episode?
I guess just an update on my car, but that might not be that important.
What?
Oh, Teddy, I wanted to thank you over conversation for giving me feedback on my website over the last couple of months. I wanted to thank you a lot for that, because it's really helped a lot with me making my new website.
You are very welcome, Jordan.
Yeah, thank you. But does anyone else have conversations to talk about?
Nope.
The only thing left I got is just a small update on my car, and that's it. But if it's not that important, then we don't even need to discuss it.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't discuss it.
It's what time is it in your local time right now?
8:01.
9:01. So, yeah, I just realized I gotta get up at 7 so I can go to the dealer at 8.
Oh, is that to get your
more
car?
stuff at it.
Is that to get your car keys fixed?
Evidently now it's more than just the car keys.
Oh, what is it?
The AC went out.
Oh, that's a major problem.
I mean, to me, it's not, because I actually don't use the AC in my car, but it's a problem for my passengers. So
Yes, I naturally run hot, so I would need to have AC, especially in the summer.
Well, actually, there is one reason why I would need to definitely run the AC, and it's not while I'm in the car, because I hate car AC so much, because it's either it's on max or it's not on at all. And I hate it when it's on max. But the interior of my car is black. And
That
it
attracts
absorbs
heat.
a lot of heat. So because of that, I would like to be able to remote start the car and have the AC cool it down for me when I get in. I mean, yeah, it's a luxury feature, I know, but
Still,
yeah,
that's a problem for your passengers, and you want to have passengers in that car. Don't you?
Oh yeah, I still frequently carry passengers in my
Like,
car.
do you want to take girls on dates with Stardust?
Well, I gotta get another girlfriend at some point. I have not been lucky with the ladies.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, but yeah, that was actually the other update. But yeah, I just realized I gotta get up at 7. And I still gotta do some more editing till 1:30 in the morning again.
Alright, well, I guess we should end this episode now, so that way Alpha can continue his editing.
I've got nothing else to talk about, so...
Neither do I. Does Jordan have anything?
Oh, if you guys want to watch a funny critique of Apple, you all should watch this funny South Park episode called Human Centipede.
I think I saw a clip from that. Yeah, I did see a clip from that.
Oh, you know, when he was having a fit in Best Buy?
Because his parents wouldn't buy him an iPad.
Mom! Why do you have to screw me over again? But, you know, on South Park's website, you can watch it for free.
I did not know that they make it free on the website.
Not all the episodes, but I found a hack where you can watch all of them for free.
That's piracy, but okay.
I'm
it's
still trying to get a VPN so I can watch another show for free.
It's technically illegal. I think I'm not watching it without illegal access. I'm just using my proxy. You know, the same one I was telling you about for my school. So I can watch it. Because a lot of them are unavailable.
How come a lot of them are unavailable?
What?
How come a lot of the South Park episodes are unavailable?
It's unavailable for free because Comedy Central wants to make royalties
Makes sense.
from, like, some streaming service.
At this point, I'm just gonna say screw the streaming services.
I hate them too.
I had Hulu for a few months so I could watch Family Guy, and I didn't feel like spending money into the ad-free version. But some of those ads on Hulu are annoying as hell.
That's
Yeah.
why I pay. That's why my family pays for the ad-free version.
And, like, they stick
Yeah.
ads everywhere.
I know.
Well, my mom actually, because she does have Hulu, but she does get the one with ads. It's because she basically never watches it. There's only like one show. What is it? This Is Us, I think. I think it's that one show on Hulu that she watches. But
isn't that off air now? Yeah, it's off air now.
I hope it got canceled because oh gosh, it took such a wrong turn.
Yeah, This Is Us got canceled. Yeah, it ended last year. My aunt watched that show.
Thank
and
God.
She was talking about.
It was so good at first. It was really good at first. And then they went down the political garbage trap, just like so many other shows.
That's
Oh,
basically
yeah,
that's why Hollywood is a dying industry.
When they talk
Yeah.
about political issues, that usually turns one side really in favor of the show, and that turns one side really far away from the show to the point of hating it.
As Abraham
I
Lincoln
discovered recently, evidently, now you actually want to start avoiding doing any political advertising in anything, because then your stock just plummets, like, fast.
Yeah,
Oh.
especially Target.
Anheuser-Busch, Fox News, yeah.
I think companies should just stay politically neutral.
Exactly.
You know,
I wish Apple would.
Like,
Same.
if they actually cared about people, they'd still continue doing it, even though they'd lose billions. So they don't actually care, and they're just making money off of it.
Exactly.
Apple's not
Companies
willing
are
to compromise their shareholders when it comes to delivering consumers products, but I'm pretty sure they'd be willing to compromise if it involves political advertising.
Abraham Lincoln put perfectly in 1864, our nation cannot continue staying half and half on issues.
So true.
Or no, that was
Yeah.
that was in 1864. That was 1860. Or I think that was
Oh.
1860.
You know how fiery hot politics can get on Twitter?
Yes.
There's a reason why I stay out of it.
Yeah, I can't stay out of it, and I don't want to piss off my audience base, so I have another account that I think I set to private.
No.
Yeah, I hate being in one particular space that I've gotten a lot more into recently, but the problem is it's so political.
Yeah.
And it's not even that space's fault. It's the electric vehicle space. You can guess where that's all going.
Yeah, just the environment and stuff. I would,
Yeah.
it kind of sucks that the environment has to be a political issue and not worrying about taking care of the planet.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That sucks so much.
Like, we should just take politics out. Should I not talk about this?
That's a good idea. In fact, now we're ready to end the show.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. So I need to get more ice. I'm roasting.
So I need to get more water too. As always, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast, or TIFP. As always, I am Teddy Maggart from the iTunes Fanboy.
My name is Alpha DeWolf from the Random Alpha.
And my name is Jordan Riddles from the iPhone Fan.
As always, we are saying goodbye for now, and we hope to join you for our next episode when we may have Grant from Kinda Average Tech on, depending on when this current episode gets finished. As always, goodbye and peace out.
Bye.
See ya.